LLM. Of course, if there is a problem, there is a solution. We'll talk about that as well. When you have such a kind of problems, then you can go for the fine tuning, you can go for the prompt tuning, you can go for the alignment. So exactly same thing happens with the parrot. He got some instructor, he got some trainer, he got some scientist, and he trained him to be polite, helpful. So instructions are given for to fine tune the result. Okay, be polite, stay factual, help users, avoid harm. And that is called as a fine tuning. Teaching the model or giving the additional information to the model is nothing but a fine tuning. And at the end, ultimately, the parrot become a true poet after the fine tuning and alignment with the current data or the factual data. So this is how exactly the art of prediction works, how parrot learns, LLM also learns in the same way. Of course, we have not explained it in a detail, but the facts I thought to put in front of all of you. Now, let me share the presentation which I prepared for today's session. At any moment, if anyone is having a question, you can raise your hand or you can put your question in the chat box. I would love to answer your queries. Yeah. Fine. So enhancements in AI. So in this particular presentation, I want to walk you through how actually this process started, because when we learn the Python, then the next phase of the Python is data science, like analyzing the data, pre-processing, doing the plottings and all, getting insights from the data. And after that, we move towards the machine learning, in which pattern detection, then different algorithms are there, supervised algorithms, unsupervised algorithms are there. And there are a few limitations, like it works on the relational data where we have the rows and columns kind of a combination. But when the data becomes a heavy, relationship becomes more complex. So then we need neural network. So neural network came into the picture, and then the new approach of the deep learning started. So from there onwards, the progress goes on and on. We have ANN, DNN, CNN, and then RNN came into the picture, because recurrent neural network is used for generating the new word on the basis of the previous sequence. So it is called as a sequence awareness begins. So the traditional neural networks cannot handle the sequences if we have the text, speeches, time series data. So basically the working of the RNN is one token at a time, and it passes the hidden state forward as a memory. But the problem with passing the hidden state forward is like the same way. Suppose 100 people are standing in a line, and if I want to pass a message, suppose I am the 100th one, and from myself I want to pass the message to the member who is at the first position. So of course there will be the decay in the information. Exactly the same thing happens, and it is a problem of the RNN, like short-term memory, vanishing gradient, cannot handle long documents. And because of this memory constraint, RNN fails to work on the larger context of the data. Means if we supply the bigger paragraph, then it won't be able to understand the whole sequence. There is a fixed context window which RNN can understand. And that's the main challenge in the RNN. So the RNN problem, then they take over in the LSTM by providing a short memory, which is a short-term memory, LSTM algorithm, in which the memory issue of the RNN is resolved by providing the gates. So using the gates, one thing they achieved, what to remember and what to forget. So we can decide in LSTM or a group, it is a more memory based. So long-term memory and dependency handling is improved, is provided in the LSTM. So it is used in earlier applications of the NLP, speech recognition, then machine translation, these kind of applications we can able to build using LSTM because of the memory specification, memory alignment in this algorithm. But still, context was again the main important thing, because LSTM is also not that much specific. If we have the bigger paragraphs, PDF files or web data, so our algorithm won't be able to learn from all previous data. So this problem of learning from whole available tokens or whole information, it needs the parallelism, it needs an attention. And then Google came with the paper, attention is all you need. And in this particular paper in 2017, Google's team, research team, they proposed an idea of transform architecture. So the idea is to process the words or generate the word sequentially. Suppose if I'm saying once upon, then it will generate the next word as a time. Then it will generate the next word by considering the probabilities and everything. So the core innovation which is taken in this transform architecture is a self-attention mechanism where your algorithm, your architecture will attend all words present in the context. Next one is a positional encoding, means which word comes first, which word comes next, and there's sequencing that needs to be remembered, so that can be taken care by the positional encoding and parallel processing, of course. So once we are receiving the huge crowd or the humongous data, then it has to be processed in a parallel. Then this transform architecture is capable of handling because it contains the feed-forward neural network, it contains the batch processing and everything. So we can concurrently handle the multiple requests at a time. That's the main motto here. So for a longer context and to perform or process the data in a faster way, transformer was the main we can say the foundation for LLM models. And by using this transformer, now we came across the ChatGPT, Grok, DeepSeek, and n number of things are there. Many LLM models are, Claude models are there. So all these models are based on this transformer. But let me tell you one more important thing, that most of the people didn't came across this concept of transfer learning. So before transformer architecture, there is a concept of transfer learning. Now, what do you mean by transfer learning rather than traditional training? So normally in a machine learning or a deep learning, we do provide the training. So we have a training data separate, we have testing data separate, and we just train the algorithm on that data, and then we validate it through the test data. This is a normal approach or a traditional approach, which we have seen in ML and deep learning. But in case of transform architecture, before that transfer learning, the models are already trained on thousands of classes. So if you know about the Hugging Face, so if you visit the Hugging Face, you will get n number of models there. And those all models are free of cost. Just few models are gated, you need to take a permission. So let me show you that platform. It is a wonderful platform. If you want to do the research, if you want to create a POC, or if you want to learn more about the transformer architecture, even the initial transformer architecture started from the Hugging Face. If you want to create your own model, you want to deploy your model, so all over the world, anyone can use, it will be your credit. So you can upload your model free of cost on Hugging Face platform. Yeah, so here if we go and check in the model section, so the task and some categories are also given. So you can see it's a huge number. These many models are available. Now, if you want to perform the text generation, if you want to perform the image to text, text to image, text to audio, text to speech. So all models you can get here. Even task specific also you can go for. Let me just expand this. Yeah, expand this. Yeah, see. Multimodal model. Computer vision model means image or video related things you can perform here using computer vision models. Multimodal models means here the data input and output can be of any format like text, audio, image, video. So it is called as a multi-modal models. Even we have natural language processing like text classification, zero sort classification, translation, summarization. So if you want to use any of these models, you can just go here. Any of the models, it's a text classification. If I go here in a text classification, I can get a list of the models. These are all models under the text classification. Suppose if you want to use any of the model, You can just go and click. Suppose this model I want to test, so I can go here. It is for sentiment analysis. Yeah. So here you will get the information like what this model is about, on how many tokens it is trained. So the power of the model is based on how it is trained, on how many billion or million parameters that model is particularly trained. So we can see that information here. Fine. And along with that, if we just scroll down, in most of the cases, we get the code, how to use. Or else, if you want to use this as an API, you can simply go here. You can just directly want the collab. You can open in a collab. Okay. Just let me go to the inference provider. And if you want to use it in an API, okay, application programmable interface, so you can go to this option request. So you will get here a URL. This URL will directly give you an access to this model which is already trained. So you need not to tell what to do because it is already trained to perform the sentiment analysis. Means if I give a statement, then it will directly provide me, is it a positive statement, negative statement, or a neutral statement? Because in sentiment we have three categories basically. But most important thing that you need to provide here is HF token. HF token is nothing but the Hugging Face token. So if you create an account on a Hugging Face, then you can go to the settings and you can create the token of the Hugging Face and you can provide here. So this is just a few lines of code. And that's the beauty of the Python, like code is very simple, easy, libraries are open source. So we can easily make use of all these things. It's a very simple one. Even for the text related models, we can directly ask the question here. Even they have provided the examples as well. So suppose if I, yeah, it is asking me to log in, but here they have provided an example. Fine. So if I just show me, yeah, I like you, I love you. If I give this statement, then it will, and if I click to this generate button, then it will tell me, is it positive statement, negative or neutral statement, like that. So you need not to worry about the training nowadays. Already the trained. Exactly the same thing is happening with the LLM. LLMs are also trained on huge data. When GPT was launched, I remember it was trained around 176 billion parameters. If I'm not wrong, GPT-2 I'm talking about. 176 billion parameters it was trained on. And then it goes further and further. Now it's beyond our imagination how it is trained on that much data, because now we don't have any deadline, because earlier LLM models were restricted to the data, like they have some boundary limit, October 2023, November 2024. But nowadays if we just go and search, your every LLM model is working in an agentic mode. I'm not going to shift current topic to the agentic mode, but just I'll stick to the LLM itself. Yes. So after the this research came into the market, GPT, generative pre-trained transformer, which is a language understanding, which is text-based model, pre-trained model again on a massive data from the internet, from the resources, those are publicly available. So GPT came into the market, and it is used for the next token prediction. There are various activities LLM can do, but when in the industry it started as an enterprise entry, then it started with the next token prediction. So when I have previous data with me, then it will start predicting the next token on the available data. So we can use GPT for writing, reasoning, code generation, summarization task. But again, GPT has also limit. Again, knowledge cutoff. I'm talking about like 2 years back or 1 year back. Okay, 1 year back I'm talking about. So in those days we were having the knowledge cutoff. Even I will show you the example. So I have one open source model here, which is Olama. Okay, let me show you an example here. Yeah. So right now this Olama is on my local machine. I'll show you also like how you can download this model and you can use it locally. You need not to have internet connection also, but the knowledge limitation is there. Of course, I'll show you an example. So if I just write this command Olama run llama 3.2. So llama 3.2 is one of the open source model, free. completely, which you can use locally as a GPT, and it can answer your queries very nicely. As I said, limitation is right now this Llama 3.2 is trained on just around 2.2 GB of the data. So I think 3 billion parameters it is trained on. Fine. So it has some limitations. But if we compare the Llama 3.2, which is from the Meta, with current LLM models like, let's say, OpenAI model like GPT-5, 5.1, so it has a tremendous power. We cannot compare Llama with the GPT because it is a paid model, and this one is an open source model. I don't know it is going to run or not, because on my machine I have some problems with the memory itself, so it is taking much time. But okay, fine. Let it start here. Then I'll. Till now, any question, any participant? Because I want to make this session interactive. I know you have many doubts and something like that. So in between also you can ask. I'm not going to uh, push you. Just will reach to the end and then you can ask your question. So you can put your question in the chat box as well. Uh, yeah. I'm not able to open the chat. So do we have any question here?
Participants, I have enabled the setting. Now you can unmute yourself and ask some questions if you have got.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay. Anyway, if you have any question, you can raise your hand as well. I'll get back to you. So the knowledge cutoff, hallucination, these are the initial problems of GPT, GPT-2, and GPT itself I'm talking. After GPT, what happened? Yeah. So as I said, um, the data publicly available, on that data we can ask the question. But suppose my requirement is to build an application which can answer company specific questions, because if I have certain documents, those are private one, I cannot upload them publicly on chat gpt and I can ask the question, or I can build something there. So our data security is first primary concern. Second thing is, if you want to build a chatbot, let's say, where that chatbot should answer the questions with respect to only your organization. Suppose if I ask, hey, I want to purchase a sports shoe, fine. So for that particular sports shoe, we can have the many results from Nike, Puma, Reebok, and many brands are there. But I want to build the chatbot which can answer the questions with respect to a particular organization. So to avoid the hallucination, to give the proper truth to the user, the concept is retrieval augmented generation. So in which user can ask the query, then retriever, where we have a separate spatial database of the LLM. This vector database will have the storage. I mean, if industry specific, organization specific data we have, then we can store that data in a vector DB. Then it will give you the relevant documents whenever the user will ask the question. Those relevant documents will be given to the LLM, and then LLM will generate the grounded answer, which is from this data itself. So this is called as a retrieval augmented generation. So what exactly changed? So LLM only depends on the trained data, but apart from that trained data, if something I want to build, means I don't want to rely on the already trained data. I want to build, or I want to use a LLM model to generate the answers on my personal data or company specific data, organization specific data. So answers are grounded in a real document. So from the real documents, it will fetch the data and it will generate, LLM will generate the answer for that. So this is what the advantages factor about the RAG. So after LLM, this is again used at large in the industry. And yeah, I think it is taking a time. Let me just close that application. Otherwise, what it does, it brings the model into the memory. Let me just close this. Just hold on for a sec. Let me just resolve this issue. Okay. So the sixth component in this evolution is AI agent. So the LLMs that can act. So apart from the ground truth or the knowledge specific to industry, so the new question is, what if LLM could decide what to do next? On the basis of the data, whatever I will supply or user will supply, then AI agent can, as an LLM, it has some tools, it has a memory, it has a planner. So these are the different, processes that we can embed, we can design so that agent can carry out. For example, if I ask some question and I have a vector database, from that database, your LLM will go and search and then it will give me the answer. But along with that answer, suppose if I want to, um, uh, if I ask any question which is not present in that database, from where that LLM will give. So again, there is a blocker. So how to resolve this blocker? To resolve this blocker, the solution is AI agent. So AI agent will go and search using the web search engine or using the web scraper. So we have different crawlers there. So we can write a function which can take an action. It has a memory to think on the basis of the available contents, then it will plan accordingly. So the AI agents based on reasoning and action. So first they think about what we have, what is required, and what should be done to get that result. So rethinking, or we can say the reasoning and planning, these are the two important, or actions. These are the important, processes. Those are involved and those embedded, those added while designing the AI agents. So again, to design the AI agent, different open source libraries we can use. One of the famous library for designing the AI agent is LangChain. So LangChain is a framework which is a single point of source where we can get all LLM models. That if time allows us, then I'll show you that as well. So uh, nowadays, what we are able to see everywhere in the news, in the articles, and in the videos also, agentic AI. So this is a current layer or the current level of the AI, which is agentic AI, which is autonomous multi-agent system. So the main important properties, we can set the different agent for different task. So suppose if I want to write a blog, if I want to write a news, then first what I'll do, I'll gather the information. After gathering the information, I'll give it to some junior, so that junior will extract the important or essential details from it. It will prepare a rough draft. That rough draft will be given to the senior. Then that senior will review that draft. Senior will put some comments. So once senior will put the comment, again it will go back to the junior writer. So there is a writer, there is a data collector, there is a reviewer, and there is final, which is required as an approval process. So the main properties of the agentic AI, it is a goal-driven, self-reflective, multi-agent collaboration is there, long-running workflows are there, and tool orchestration. So it can continuously run. There is no limit. I mean, if you have that computing resources with you, you can run the AI agents forever. They can run forever. So basic architecture is like this. User has a some goal, then we can create a planner agent. That planner agent will decide, should I supply this query, should I feed this query to the research agent, to the reasoner agent, or to the executor agent. And then we have, as I said, so once we select any of these agents, suppose the research agent selected, on the basis of the user goal it will be selected. And once we select the research agent, we have one more agent, which is a verifier or a critic agent. Either your selection is a correct or not. So someone has to identify that. So who will identify? The verifier or critic agent will identify that. And after this identification, the final answer is and final output will be provided to the user. So this is automatic process, autonomous process we can carry out. So for agentic AI, again, different options are there, like low code platforms and no code platforms. In the industry, mostly we prefer low code operations, not low code. And the most used library is a LangGraph, and the second one is a Crew AI. Earlier, it was the Microsoft's Autogen semantic kernel, but mostly now we prefer the LangGraph, which is a graph-based agentic AI framework through which we can build the multiple tools and we can um, create an application. Fine. Yeah, that's it. So this is just a general idea about the enhancements in AI. So we should know basically. And now I'm going to head towards the main point of the prompt engineering. What is a prompt engineering? So let me show you. Yeah. So LLM is a model which is like a child, like a parrot story we have seen. So when you want something or you want that LLM should answer something for you, then it depends. For example, let's say you have a child and you allocated a task. You said, hey, just bring a half liter of milk from the store. This is one instruction you have given. But another person, how that person will give the instruction in a detailed way. Hey, take this 20 rupees or take this 50 rupees, go straight for 50 meters, then take first right, then go straight, then take second left, and then you will get the shop. The shop name is this. You will find the uncle there. You ask for half liter of the milk, and then whatever the rupees you will have in hand, you purchase this, and then come back to the home. So this is what, this is a detailed instruction we have provided. And this is nothing but the prompt engineering. Recently, we all came across that huge opportunities are there for the prompt engineers, and it is one of the topmost or highest paid job in the AI tech field. But I would say you cannot become a prompt engineer directly, or you cannot write a good prompts until and unless you have a domain knowledge. So domain knowledge is important. So basically, when we start a project, it is needed to have an SME. SME stands for subject matter expert, the one who has a knowledge of the data. Because before I start building any application, even if you want to build your own LLM model also, you should have that understanding properly, what your data is, what the format of the data, what is the average size of the document, or what kind of documents, what are the other sources of the document are there. So all these things you should know before you write some prompt. You should have those examples with you. If this is input, then this is my output. So kind of detailed understanding of the domain is really important. I'll tell you one example. When we worked for one of the automobile domain company, in that case, we need to work on CATIA. So we worked on a CATIA. So before starting the application, we understood how CATIA works. What are the different operations CATIA can perform? What is CAT part file? What is CAT product file? What are the different extensions are there? What is draft analysis? What is mesh analysis? And many things are there. So before we start working on any project directly or utilizing the LLM, we need to understand that what the system is about, what the data is about, what are the insights of the data, and then you can go with the prompt engineering. So it is what? It is a new discipline for developing and optimizing the prompts to efficiently use the language model. So as I said, the way you give the instruction to the model, it will answer your question. Suppose if I just give what is AI, it will write a lengthy paragraph for you. But if you don't want that much heavy data, you can just tell what is AI, explain in 200 words, or explain in bullet points, or explain with the help of example, explain with the help of analogy, explain by taking some real world examples. So this is called as a prompt engineering. So how user writes a prompt, it is a skill. So prompt engineering skills helps to better understand the capabilities and limitations of the LLM model, because if you are not writing prompt correctly, you will get the answers in a different way. So uh, sometimes you can go with the strict prompting, sometimes you can go with the light prompting, and there are different types of the prompts we can basically use. So to improve the main objective of the prompt engineering is what? To improve the response quality. We need a proper prompt engineering technique. We need to deploy proper prompt engineering techniques. So there are different techniques, as I can see here. um, Zero shot prompting, few shot prompting, chain of thought prompting. These are the most important or the mostly used prompt techniques. There's one more also, one shot prompting. So if I uh, want to say like zero shot prompting means what, I would say simply, it is a prompt in which we are not providing any example. User is just asking, hey, can you give me this? That's it. We're not giving an example. This is called as zero shot prompting. Fine. So any of the model, if you okay. So for example, you can see here, I'm giving the prompt. Here is the example of the prompt, like classify the text into neutral, negative, and positive. And the text is given. And then immediately the next, what I'm expecting the sentiment. Means here it will just give you the positive, negative, and neutral. So output you can see here, it is a neutral. Output is neutral. So no much more explanation is given. Fine. So zero shot prompting means that the prompt used to interact with the model won't contain examples or demonstrations. So there is no example involved in it, just straightforward. We can say it's a reactive one. This is the question, this is the context, give me the answer. That's it. This is called as zero shot prompting. One shot prompting, it means user is at least or developer is at least giving one example there. So it is called as a one shot prompting. And few shot prompting means we are giving few examples there, or we are providing minimum 2 to 3 examples there in few shot prompting. Okay. So we can say that we are providing some sort of context here in context learning. where user will provide some demonstrations or the examples. Okay, so let's see. This is a prompt. This is awesome. We are providing that. Yeah, this statement is a negative. This is a bad. For example, the positive. So kind of information when user is providing along with the statement, then it is called as a few shot prompting. So mainly zero shot, one shot, and few shot prompting is there. And the most important prompt technique is a chain of thought prompting, which is also called as a COT prompting. So if you see this example, this is a standard prompting and this is a chain of thought prompting. So in a standard prompting, I have given just an example that Roger has 5 tennis ball and blah 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 things. So answer is provided. So this is one example is given. And then I'm asking the next question. So this is a straightforward that how the 11 is generated, not provided here. We have not described how we are getting this 11. It is a standard prompting. Whereas if we go for the chain of thought prompting, then in this answer, if you see how it differs from the earlier one standard in prompting, we are describing like how the answer 11 came. So Roger started with the 5 balls, 2 cans, 3 tennis balls, each is 6 tennis balls. So 5 plus 6 is equals to 11. Hence, when you will ask the next question, you will not get the answer like this. Straightforward. It might generate the wrong answer. In this case, it is generating the wrong answer. But if you give the proper way of understanding that how this problem can be solved, then you will get a better result. So this is an answer once you apply the chain of thought prompting. So wherever the same sort of patterns, like we have the aptitude questions. So there a particular pattern is there, like we have the train problems, clock problems. So they follow some pattern, correct? In those cases, we can just go with the chain of thought prompting. So when we want the scenarios to be, explained in a detailed way, or the resolution should be provided to the user step by step sequentially, then we can go with the chain of thought prompting. Most essential thing to understand is when I say a prompt, so what prompt actually contains? So prompt actually contains instructions. It contains instructions, means do this, do that, don't do that, or give me the output in this format, avoid slashing, or don't use the spaces in between, don't add special symbols, characters. So many things we can add. So this is called as an instruction. And in the prompt itself, we also provide the context. Okay, if it is a rack system, then we can also provide the context. Normally it is just with the instructions, but if it is a RAG application or it is a retrieval augmented generation based application, then we do provide the context in that. Okay, and this prompt is given as a doc string, means as we need to provide the multiple instructions, then if for the prompt particularly, we do provide the statements, multiple statements along with the input. Okay, so you can say here or input text, fine, input text or data that we do provide. So let me explain each of these examples to all of you one by one practically what prompt engineering is. Fine. So here is the code as you can see on my screen. So let me just give you one example of zero shot prompting, then you can understand other examples as well. So what I'm doing here, I'm using open source Olama library, as I have installed the open source Llama model on my machine. It is not at all web based, API based. On my local, I'm having this particular model. Fine. So I think I can show you here, but I'm not going to load it. Okay, let me just try once again. Yeah, you can see these many models I'm having. So the first model, Nomic Embed Text, is an embedding model, open source embedding model. The size of the model is 274 MB. Then I have Llama 3.2 test model, which is, as I said, 2 GB. And Llama 3.2 1B, it is 1B model. This is a 3B model. So it is of 1.3 GB. What do you mean by this size? Size means on how many parameters it is trained on, or how many tokens it is trained on, that much big size you will get here. So if you see Mistral, so for Mistral it is consuming around 4.1 GB of the space. Okay, so this much data they are consuming right now. Fine. Okay, so I'm going to use this 1B model because it is with low memory. So instead of Llama 3.2, I will call here it's 1B model. I hope I have written correctly. Yeah, 1B model. Let me close this. Typical question, if you anyone is having, you can feel free to ask. And I'm writing here a simple Python function. So this is a way how we declare a function in a Python using def keyword. This is my function name. To this function, I will give an input text. Then inside this prompt I have given, I'm giving here a simple prompt that summarize the following text. So as I said, in a prompt, what we do, in a prompt, we give the instruction and we supply the context or the input text. Exactly the same thing I'm doing here. In a prompt, you can see instruction, summarize the following text, /n for the new line, and then I'm providing here input text. Means whatever the user will provide to this function, that input text will be given here. Okay. Once you take this prompt will supply to the Olama. So this is open source library again. Olama.chat. Chat is a method from the Olama, and then we'll give the model name 3.21b. And this architecture is important. Let me just bring it down. Yeah. So message, these are the attributes actually. So when we write a function to get the response, we need a model. So model name is already declared as a constant. Messages, in message we can define a role. So this role can be a user, it can be a system. Okay, so as a user we are going to ask the question, so what user is going to provide? User is going to provide this prompt. In this prompt, what user will give? User will provide the input text. So prompt contains the instructions plus input text, and this will be given to generate the response, and the response will be generated here. Okay, so it will return the response. Let me show you. First, I'll just example. I'll just comment it out here. All these things. Okay. So here on the screen, you can see this is my main file. This is how we can start a main file in a Python. Here I have taken input text and just I have added here. Prompt engineering is a relatively new discipline for this. And what is my zero shot prompting function contains? Summarize the following text. Okay. So summarize the following text, input text will be given, and then it will generate the answer. Fine. So let me just go here and I'll just comment remaining things. Okay. I'll save it. Yeah. I think there is, yeah, I've already commented. Fine. And then I'll run this code. So this is present in a prompt engineering folder. So I need to move to that folder, cd space prompt engineering. Yeah. And then I will run this program. Python space, my file name is diff prompt.py. Okay, let me run this. So now what will happen, I'll tell you. Here I have given a paragraph. This paragraph I'm giving to the zero shot function as an input text. It will go to the zero shot function. It will take that input text. It will give that text into the prompt. The prompt will be given to the generate the response. See here. To generate the response, what we are giving the prompt, we are giving the model name, right? And as an answer, you will get the summary of the paragraph, whatever you have supplied. Okay. I will also change some paragraph. Instead, otherwise you will say, sir has taken the fixed data and showing the result. No, I'm going to change the data in front of you, and you will also see how it is generating. Fine. So let's wait for a moment, because here it is not using the paid key. It is free. So Of course, we have to keep some patience here. Till then, any question anyone is having? Typically, from the topics, whatever we discussed. Any question, anyone?
You can type your queries in the chat box as well, and you can unmute yourself. That's true.
Okay, so here, as you can see, it is giving me the error reading the LLM response. Okay, the connection was forcibly closed from the host. So it is not the problem of the code. It is actually, sorry, it is actually the problem of LLM model. From LLM model, we are not getting the response. This is actually port number 65394. So here we are not getting the response from the LLM model. Let me rerun this code again. I think I need to close a few options which are open in the memory. I need to free the memory actually. You can put your question in the chat box also. I would really like to answer the questions if you have any. This is not actually a notebook. This is a Python file. Okay, so I'll share after this lecture. Okay, so this is a .py file, ma'am. Okay, till then, let me explain what I have written for other functions. Okay, so if you see, this is a zero shot prompting. Yes, I'm getting the answer. See, I got the answer. So for zero shot prompt, I just gave the instruction. I want to summarize. That's it. This is my zero shot prompt function. But if I go for the one shot prompting, as I said, I will provide the example. So if you see here in a prompt, look at this particular yeah, line number 18, 19, 20, and 21. If you see these highlighted lines, what I am doing here, I'm giving the example like the Great Wall of China is one of the seven wonders of the world, and here I'm providing the summary of it. So I gave the example. This is a single example. So it is called as a one-shot prompt. Code remains same. I'm not doing any change in code. Code is as it is. Just I'm doing the change in the prompt. I have provided one example. So it is called as a one-shot prompting. If you go for the few shot prompting, then what we will do is we will provide more instructions or more examples. Like I am providing this text 1, text 2, summary 2, text 3, summary 3. So enough examples you are giving. Now, what is the importance of the example? Now, you may ask here the question like, why multi-shot prompting or the few shot prompting is required? It is but obvious. As we consider the LLM as a child, if you, it's simple, the analogy is with our child as well. So when, or if you are trying to teach any subject to the students, what you will do, you will try to explain the concept with the different examples. In the same way, if you explain the scenario with the help of different examples, so your students will understand in a better way. Exactly the same thing is here. When you are providing more examples, LLM will understand in a better way that what has to be done. Okay, so it will get a clarity. The LLM will get a clarity better with examples. It doesn't mean that you should add many examples, because I'll tell you the limitation. If you add more examples here, then it will slow down the process when it's open source, because here we have some limitations. We cannot add here a big paragraph for the given exam, giving the examples. No, we also have some limitations that how much big prompt we can write, because every LLM model has its fixed set of length. Right now, whatever the OpenAI is providing, a GPT model, so the length is a 4 lakh tokens. Okay, 4 lakh tokens we can supply at a time for input and output. Fine. So you can see here, I'm getting the summary of the paragraph. Okay. So if I go with the other website, suppose if I go and just copy the content of any other page, and if I paste it as an input, then accordingly it will give me the answer of that. Okay. So let me just go here. Sorry for delay. It's my machine's problem. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just copy this one. Okay, Control C. I'll go to my code. Oh my God, it is taking much more time. Okay, I'll replace this code with the copied code here. Control V. Yeah. So this is a new text I have given here. Again, I'll go to the terminal. Then I'll run this. Now I have changed. I have given here the paragraph. Okay. And this paragraph contains the information about some Hugging Face model. Here you can see it's a modern Finbird. Okay. So let's see what answer it gives for zero shot prompt. And then I think I have chain of thought prompt as well. So let me show you the chain of thought prompt as well. Yeah, this one is chain of thought. So in a chain of thought, what we do is we provide the steps in a chain of thought. Fine. See here. In a prompt, I'm giving here, let's think step by step to summarize the following text. I have given the text as well. And then I'm providing the steps. Step 1, you do this. Step 2, you do this. Then step 3, you do this. Okay. And final summary you can provide here. So the proper step by step, execution that we have provided, this is called as chain of thought prompt. So whenever what is being said. And as you can see, I have given the modern Finbird. So it is which Olama I'm using now the Gemini, sorry, I got disconnected. Let me share my screen once again. Yes, I hope now it's visible.
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay, thank you. So now I'm going to show you that how we can use a Gemini API key, Google's API key. Fine. And we will use here the model. Let's say I will use here 2.5 flash. Okay, fine. And then what we are doing actually. So again, first thing is you need to install here the necessary libraries like Google Generative AI. Hmm? So it will contain, it will give you the provision to use Gen AI, because Gen AI is required to first configure. So what do you mean by configure? See, this is not a local model. This is a free tier model where you get some initial credentials, and using this Gen AI object, you can, use Gemini models. Okay. So I hope you all know the Gemini models. If you don't know the Gemini models, then I would wait for a moment. Ah, okay, let me show you. Yes. So you can see this website, Google AI.Google Dev. So when we go for the paid models, we need an API key. Okay. We need an API key. So when we need an API, when I say the API key, then you need to create an account there. Then you need to go to the settings, and then you can create the API key. Fine. So let me just show you how we can create an API key. Okay, even I can share this link with you, because almost all of us have the Google account, right? Gmail account. So we can go here and create the key. Okay. Yeah, you can click on this website. It will redirect you to the Gemini API. And if you want to kickstart, then best possible way is I would recommend documentation. So we can go to the documentation, and we can, um, learn here step by step. There is a quick start option. So in a quick start option, they have provided you that what you needed. Okay, so you can see it supports different languages like Python, JavaScript, Go, Java, C Sharp, app script, and everything. So they have provided all the steps. So first you need to install this, then you need to just copy paste this. Okay, you can see 2.5 flash model. So it will generate the response. But for generating the response, of course, you need an API key. See, here they have provided set your API key, pass your API key. There are different options available. So in order to create the API key, here we can get the API key option. So once you all are on this page, you can go to this option on the left hand side, which is API keys option, and you will see create or view Gemini API key. Create or view Gemini API key, or directly here on the top, you can see the option of get API key. You can also create on this get API key as well. So when you go to the get API key on the right hand side, you will get this another window where you will be able to see, do you have the API key? Because it will ask, definitely it will ask you for the login. Then you need to sign in. Then you can get this window. Typically on the top, in your case, you might get the project to any name. Fine. So here I can see that I have the test project, I have Gemini API project. Okay, fine. So if you want to create a key quickly, you can click on this create API key. So when you click on the create API key, it will ask, just give the name of the key. Suppose if I give here name, let's say FDP, then select a cloud project. So I have the project already created here. I'll just go with the Gemini API and I'll click to the create key. The request is suspicious. Why it is suspicious? Just let me just sample key, test project, create API key. Yeah. See. So now, no, it is. Oh, what is the request is suspicious. Okay, I don't know like why it is giving me this error. This is first time I'm able to see here, but these all are the keys which I created. Fine. So if I want to use the key, then I need to copy the key immediately, because once you click outside or once you close this window of the key, then you cannot able to use that key again. Fine. So let me just close any of the API key here. I don't know which one. Just let me check with my key available here. Then I can go with the next. Otherwise, I will delete that key. PXO. Okay. Do I have here PXO anything? No, I don't have any PXO. So let me just close. Delete key. Okay. Then I'll go for the creation of the new key. Project test. I don't know why it is giving me this, but you just check at your end. I hope it is working, or if it is still failing, then it is not the problem from our side. It is a problem from, might be the problem from the Google side. I don't know. I'm observing this first time, but I have anyway, I have a key with me. So I need not to worry about that. I have already the Google API key with me. Okay. So in the current example, what it is, first we will configure the API key. Okay. Once we configure the API key, then we'll go for the function. So in a function, what this function is about, this function is for the audio processing. So let's assume that I have an audio. So I will transcribe that audio first, and then we will attempt to perform the speaker diarization. Now, what is the concept of speaker diarization? Speaker diarization means, suppose if the audio is of a podcast. So in podcast, we have two people, those are talking. So it will tell you the speaker one is saying what and speaker two is saying what. So who spoke when? It is called the speaker diarization process. Fine. And we can able to get it using the generative model of GenAI. So here I'm putting 2.5 flash, because if you use 1.5 flash, I think it will give you the deprecation warning or error also. So in this try except block, I'm going to open that file. So from Python, we are using with open function. So in this, whatever the path user will provide, that path we will read as a binary RB. And then after reading that file, we will write a prompt. So in the prompt, I'm providing, please transcribe the following audio and perform the speaker diarization. Here also I have added the instruction, indicate who is speaking before each segment of the speech. If possible, please label the speakers as a speaker 1, speaker 2, and so on. If the model cannot perform the speaker diarization, just provide the transcription. So if it fails to perform the identify the speakers, then you just give the transcription. This is what the clear instructions we have given. Fine. And the model which we have created here of Gemini 2.5 Flash, that model we will use, and we'll call generate content method. Okay, in this we are going to provide the audio data, and if it fails, then it will generate an error. So here we need to put an audio path. I need to put here audio path. Fine. So how I can put the audio path? Simply, this is my audio file. Okay, this audio file I need to supply here. So what I'll simply do is I'll right click on this file, I'll copy the path, I'll paste that path here, I'll just paste that path here. Okay, Before that, I want to use a relative pass. I will write /r control s. Okay, I saved my file. Okay, then I'll go here. I hope it should not give me the error of API key. Let's see. So this gen audio file is present in prompt engineering. So we are already in a prompt engineering folder. So I'll simply write here Python space gen audio .py. Let me hit enter. Yes, definitely. I will provide you these all coding files. Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you for the confirmation, Anita ma'am, that end API key is generated at your end. What about other? Are you getting the API key is generated? If not generated, you just tell me what is the error you are facing. Please store that. I hope you store that API key in a particular file, like let's say text file, doc file, because once you close that window, you will not be able to retrieve the code or it retrieve that API key. Fine. Okay. So here it is telling me that, hey, error occurred. Fine. Means it gives this message, error occurred. And what that message contains? No API key or ADC found. Please either set Google API key environment variable or manually pass karo. So where you can pass manually in GenAI config, here you can pass that API key directly. So what I'll do, yeah, GenAI configure. Here I need to pass that key directly. We don't pass the key directly here, fine. But anyway, just for time being, I don't want to show you some other method, because in other way also we can pass that genei.configure, and here I'll supply the API key. So let me just close this one and I'll put my API key here. Sorry, where is my API key? It is there itself in the env file. Yeah, just I'll copy this. I'll go to the code. I put the API key here. Oh, sorry. We put that. Yes, double quotation I was having. Fine. So what I did is I have directly given the API key. Normally, if you are alone working, then it is fine that you can directly specify the key, but this is not at all expected way of passing the key. There are different ways, like we can hide this as a secret key. We cannot provide or expose this key directly in the code. This is what we expect while building the industry application. Fine. So just let me rerun this code again. Yes. Fine. So this is my audio file .a.wav file. So which I'm going to provide here as an input. So when I'm providing here the input, so what will happen? See, it will call this function. In this function, this audio file will be provided. This audio file, it will take here. Yeah, here. Fine. It will load the model. We will read that audio file in the audio data. In the prompt, I have given the instructions what to do, right? And to the model, we are going to supply audio data, means the file which we are going to read as an audio, that audio data we are supplying, and it will generate the response text. So see here, it is giving me the answer. Speaker 1. Okay. Hey, what's up guys? I was really struggling on how to start this video. So this is what the audio contains, right? And here you can see it marked with a speaker one. It means what it indicates, in this particular audio, we have just one speaker who is talking. Because there is no other speaker. We don't have any other indication that there is a speaker two present in this. So whole uh, audio is of only one speaker. Okay. So this is how actually, we can write a prompt. And the way how you detailed it, if you're not providing this line, let's say, then it will not add speaker one, speaker two. That you need to provide, perform the diarization. If you're not performing the diarization, then what to do? If you are not having this, then what to do? So this instruction clarification is really important. So this is another example in which we are using Gemini API key. Fine. Any question till this? Okay, this I'm not going to take here. Fine. So now I want to show you that how we can create a chatbot, and with a simple prompt, how you can build it. Fine. So let me just show you this code. Yeah. Okay, not this one. Okay, fine. So the first thing which I'm going to explain here is, you have the API key. It is a secret key. It is a confidential key. We cannot share it publicly, even if you get the API key, because normally when we go for the purchasing of OpenAI API key, minimum $5, and the standard API key you will get for the $20 per month. $20 per month. Fine. So I have right now the paid API key with me, which I can use. I'm going to use here itself. So we will put that API key in this env file. So this is my paid API key. It also contains just a dummy key, secret key. Okay, why I have added, I'll show you. So when I want to use those API keys, not directly but indirectly, so what I'll do is I will use this module which is .env, and from that .env I will call the function which is load env. So what is the purpose of this load env? To load the secret keys. Fine. So let me just hide the rest of the portion, and then I'll show you just, yeah. So once I load the load env, when I'll call, then it will show me the keys here. Okay. So let me just run this. It is present in chatbot. So I need to go back. Yeah. Yeah. CD space. I'll go to the chatbot folder. Yes. And then I'll run this file, which is python space one underscore api.py. Now, see, I'm getting here answer true. What do you mean by true? Means we have keys. Okay, we have keys. Where we have keys? In env file. We have keys here. Okay, let's say if I remove the keys, Control X, I'll save this. Okay, and I'll rerun this code. See, now it is showing you the false. Now, what do you mean by false? False means here we don't have the secret keys. So when you have the secret keys, it will return true, right? This code will return true. See, it is returning true. Okay. Now in order to load that key, now you understood, like we have the keys. In order to load that key, we can use OS module. So OS is an operating system model through which we can load the key. So there is an function, another function, which is get env. Okay. And you must have to specify the same name. So what is the name here for the key? Secret key. So I'll copy this. I'll put it here, and then I'll show you what this key is. Okay, let's print. Fine. So what I'm showing you right now in my .env file, where I'm holding the secret keys, I will load that secret key here in my current Python program. So let me just run. See, I'm getting here 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose if I change, let's say here 1, 2, 3, 4, FDP on GenAI, dot, 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 something like that. And if I rerun this again, see, I'm getting that. Fine. So this is a way like how you can access the secret. In the same way, I have the key OpenAI API key, which I can able to access here. Same we can do for the Gemini API key as well. Fine. So we can load that key easily like this. It's very simple. And even in the most of the code snippet, if you go across and if you came across, you will understand this scenario that how it is useful or how it is used. Okay. And then once you load that, you need to set that API key. Okay. So I'm going to show you the simple chatbot how we can create here. Yes, there is no need to print this API key. No need to print this API key. Save. Let me explain you. Okay. So ABM, yeah, here also we will just, okay, no, not required this. Yeah. And yes. So now what I'm doing is I'm using OpenAI. So this is already installed. So you can see here is my virtual environment. Now what do you mean by virtual environment? When we start a project, so for that particular project, we need to set up a virtual environment. Why it is required? For example, I have two projects in hand. Project one, project two. Okay. So for project one, I need, let's say NumPy. I need, let's say pandas. These are the name of libraries. In the second project, for example, I need TensorFlow. I need, let's say PyTorch. I need scikit-learn. Okay. So you can see for project one, I have different dependencies, and for project two, I have different dependencies. So rather than installing all these libraries in a global path, we will create a separate virtual environment. Okay. So for this project one, I'll create the virtual environment, let's say one. And for project two, I will create virtual environment, let's say two. Okay, VNB two. Fine. And why it is important? It is important because of the dependency issues. So in first project, I don't want TensorFlow. In second project, I don't want NumPy. I don't want Python. So I will keep them separate. So whenever you want to install the virtual environment, this setup is really important. Fine. So how we can do that? So to install this virtual environment, you can just directly go to this option VNV. Fine. And you will get this button like create a virtual environment. So it will create a new virtual environment for you in a quicker way. This is using just click and submit. But there is another approach. I mean, if you want to create a virtual environment with a particular name, fine, then you can go with the command line approach. So you can just go here. Let me show you right now. You can see here I have .vnv, which is a virtual environment for me. If I want to create another virtual environment, let's say, so what I'll do is I'll write here Python space -m. Then I'll write here virtual environment name. So let's say, as I said, let's say FDP VNV. Okay. Then space VNV. Fine. Okay. And hit enter. No module named FD. Oh, sorry. Python. I need to write VNV first. And then I'll write here VNV. Yes. So once you write this, so this is a static one, -m Python VNV. This is a static one. And this FDP VNV is what? FDP VNV is nothing but a new name I'm providing here to create a virtual environment. So it is a project specific architecture where we will install our dependencies, the required dependencies for the project. Okay. So now It will take some time, but here you can see it is, see, refreshing the virtual environment, and here we'll get that virtual environment typically. Yes, so you can see virtual environment is done. You can see at this FDP VNV. So just a single line will create a virtual environment for you. Fine. Here you can see include lib script. So what this is an indication of virtual environment. Even if you go here in the .vnv, here also you will see the same folders. Fine, but I don't want this one any further. I don't want to use this. Then I'll delete. Okay. Move to recycle bin. Yeah. Any question with respect to the virtual environment anyone is having? Fine. Now, so virtual environment we have kept. OpenAI API key I have already available with me. If you want to create your OpenAI API key, then what is the procedure? You can just search for OpenAI API key. But yes, of course, this will be means the credits will be already exhausted because we all are using ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, it does provide the free credits initially. So hence we would not be able to use the created key. So you need to pay for that. As I said, $5 minimum to $20 as an optimal charge for that API key, right? So yeah. So let me share this website also. You can learn how to create an OpenAI API key. I'll provide the instructions to all of you. Just let me share this path. Yeah. So if you visit this website, here it will ask you for the login. So you need to log in here. So I'll go with the continue with the Gmail. I'll select an account. Okay. So once you log in successfully, you will get this page. You will get this page. Okay. So normally, if you're not on this page, you might be somewhere on API reference, or you might be somewhere on docs. Okay, so you might see this introduction, or you might see any other page. So if you're not able to see here, then you need to go to the dashboard. Okay, can you see this option on the left hand side? Sorry, right hand side. So you can see the dashboard. If you click on the dashboard, then it will show all these options to you. Fine. And here in the manage section, there is a tab for API key. So if you just click on this API keys, you will get here a button, or here also, to create a new secret key. So any of the button you can use. Let me repeat again, in a manage section, where you will get the manage section once you are on a dashboard. So first you need to go to the dashboard, then you can go for the API keys. API keys, you will have the button for creating the new secret key. You just click on the new secret key. Here you need to give the key name. Let's say I'm going to provide here, let's say FDP, and project you can select here. Fine, sample project. Then I will click on the create secret key. So once I click on the create secret key, then here the key is available. So you need to copy this key. without fail. Hmm? Because they have provided the instructions. Please save your secret key in a safe place since you won't be able to view it again. So it's our responsibility to save this key. Yeah, of course, if you forget to save, then you can create a new secret key. You can delete this one. Fine. But it's better to save it initially, rather than creating a new one. So if I use this, then it will give me an error. Okay. Let me show you that as well. Suppose instead of this OpenAI API key, I'll just comment it out, and sorry, here I'll go comment, and then I'll put here the new key which I created just now. Correct. I'll put that key and I'll put that label. Now you might have a question: is it mandatory to use the capital letters for the key? See, some parameters are predefined in the architecture. So from that perspective, and even if we think about the PAPET standard, what do you mean by PAPET standard? PAPET standards are Python Enhanced Proposal 8 standard. So these are the standards in 2004 something or 8 something. Guido van Rossum, who is the inventor or the developer of the founder of the Python, he and his two colleagues, they designed some set of rules for writing the programs, and according to their rule they decided to secrets and the constants we should use capital letters. And as I said, some predefined labels are there for the keys, so those we need in a configuration. So capital or case sensitivity matters here. Hmm? So right now I'm using the OpenAI key which I just now created on the portal. So here it is, this one. Okay, so how I created API keys, create new secret key, and then secret key will be created for you. Fine. Now what is the next process? Let me explain you the code. So here I'm using this OpenAI API key from the env file because you're using lot.env. Next, we'll create an object first for chatbot through OpenAI class. In this, we are going to provide the OpenAI API key. So this API key, new API key, I'm going to provide. And I'm asking the question, what is the capital of France? What is the capital of France? So from chatbot instance, I have another method chat. It contains another option completion. Completion contains create. And in that create particularly, this is again constant. This one. This one is again constant. Chat.completion.create. It is a constant approach to call the LLM model. Which LLM model? GPT 3.5 Turbo. Now the question in our mind is from where we get these models, because in earlier example we have seen that Gemini 1.5, 2.5 Flash. Here I'm able to see that GPT 3.5 Turbo. So again, I will emphasize more on this statement. And I already said, whenever you want to learn something, please refer the documentation, official documentation of that library. So if we visit the OpenAI, this platform, you have the option of where it is. Let me go to the docs. Yeah. So when I'll go to the docs, here you can see these are the models: 5.2, GPT-5 mini, GPT-5 nano, and there little bit explanation is also given. Best model for coding and agentic task, faster and efficient one, cost effective one, fastest and cost effective, right? So these are the models. So just take a moment and check all these models. Let me share this with all of you. Please take a moment and check all these models. Okay, let me share the code, but again, if you copy as it is, it may create a problem of what indentation. Okay, till then let me share the code. No worries. Code is a short, but I hope you are able to solve the indentation problem. Okay, let me just copy this. I'll paste it here. Yeah, so you can copy this and put it in the environment, put it in the IDE. Hmm? So I request all of you to please check these models. And even if you want detailing of each and everything, then you can go to the third option, models. Here you can compare the models. Even you can see which models are available, open weight models, specialized models, many categories are there. Please just go through this. Okay, so I was expecting that if you just check here, like pricing is also provided with respect to each model, like how much it costs for input, how much it costs for cast input and output. Okay, and even if you just see it, the list is a huge one. And these many models, even for image tokens, audio tokens, we have different models available. And as I said, we can just go and check for the quick start. In the quick start, again, it will explain you step by step what is the first process, then what is the next process. You can go with the OpenAI SDK. You can see here the step one is to install, then step two is this one. Okay, step two is this one. Exactly the same code we are using right now. So if you just check here, see, same code we are using. OpenAI, then what is the capital of France? Here we are putting the model. Then as I said, we need to provide a role as a system, that what from the system, what we are instructing to the system, that you are a helpful assistant, and what as a user we are giving. So as a user, we are providing the content, means question, what is the capital of France? And then you will get the response. Okay. So why this is dot choice of zero, dot message, dot content, I'll explain you. Okay. So just give me the moment here. Let me run this, because we are using here the latest key. So I don't think so that it will work, because it will give you the insufficient quota error. So how it is, let me just show you. Okay. So just now, what I did is I uh, started the execution of this api.py. Let's see what it gives. So as usual, as I said, rate limit, error code 429. So as we can see here, you exceeded your current quota. So as we used the chat GPT in earlier days, and what they were doing in those time, like they were providing $5 of the free access, and that already that quota given by the OpenAI is already over. Hence, we cannot use that a free one. Hmm? So the next what I have is I need to comment this, and then I need to use my paid API key. Okay. So I'll go back here again. See, again, I'll run. And what is my question? My question is, what is the capital of France? See, the capital of France is Paris. If I just change my question here, what is machine learning? Let's run this. So the answer you will get here in a quick way, because here it is a paid one, right? See, machine learning is a type of artificial intelligence that enables the computers to learn from the data, and etc. Things are given. Fine. So the structure is the same. If you just visit here, you will get the code as well. They will provide you, like suppose if you want to analyze the image, so you can use this code as it is to analyze the image. Fine. So let me show you this code as well. So I'll just copy this. I'll go to this file. I'll comment it. Okay. And then I'll use this one. Yeah. So this code, where I get, I got the code from this one, right? So yeah. So what this is, again, here we are using the GPT-5. I will use 3.5 because it is costly. 5 is costly, so I will use here 3.5 earlier model turbo. Yeah. And in the input, we'll give the role as a user, content input text. Then type as an input text. Second, what teams are playing in this image. Okay. And you are providing the input image. So let me show you the image first. Then you can understand here what this image is about. Okay, fine. So this is an image. And what my question here is, in the prompt, my question is, like here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5 players. Fine. So the question is, what teams are playing in this image? So we are asking for the name of game, right? So let me just run this. Where it is, yeah. I need to save this file. Yes, and I'll run. So what it is giving, error while downloading the image. Just let me put it. Why it is giving me the backspace and all this thing? Okay. It is showing that this there is a problem with the image. Okay. Let me just go with another image. I can just go with the other image as well. No problem. So just I'll write here, okay, nature image. Nature image. Okay, so I'll use this. I'll right click. I'll copy the image link. Right click, copy the image link, and then I'll go here. I'll try to replace this with the new one. Okay. And I will clear this terminal. I'll run it again. So this is what the image right now we are using. Let's see if it is giving the answer for this nature wallpaper, or it might be some, I don't think so that this will be protected one. It will give the response. Oh, sorry, does not support. So your GPT does not support. This model does not support vision based operations. Yeah. So I need to use your 4O mini. Sorry guys. I mean, the problem is from my end. Okay, let me just. So it was the problem with the model actually. See, here it is showing me that I can't determine any teams. Oh, sorry, my question is wrong. So for this image of the nature, what my question was, what teams are playing in this image? So your LLM model is predicting correctly that it is answering correctly, not predicting. I can't determine any teams or specific details about an event from this image, as it depicts a natural landscape rather than a sports scene. Correct? So I'll just ask here, please explain this image, and then I'll just run this. So now I change the question. I have given, see, this is again an example of a prompt, huh? How you are supplying the example in the model creation. So now here it is giving me the correct answer that image presents a picture skew, natural scene featuring all this information. Okay? So we can see here detailed information about this image I'm getting. Even if I change the image, let's say if I go with the other image, let's say this one. So model needs to support image extraction, audio, video transformation. So if your model is multimodal, then it will support. If your model is only prepared for text data, then you need to check, otherwise it will throw an error, as it was showing in earlier case when we were using Turbo. Okay, anyway, just changing the example is just another thing, another scene. Fine. But I hope you get the idea, like in a code itself, how a person can, uh, change the inputs. Okay. We can provide here the content, we can provide here image URL, we can provide here audio. So it depends on what our requirement is. Fine. Okay, let me talk about the answer response. So when we are getting the response after using this, yes, it is on. Yeah. So why I'm using here choice zero message dot content. If I'm not using this, let's say if I'm just printing response, then what will happen? We'll see. If I'm just printing the response, then your response is a huge one. This response will contain many fields, many keys, and we need not require all those keys. See, here is the answer of the chart completion. In this, We are getting the ID, we are getting the choice, we are getting the chart completion message, and then in that you have content. So this is your actual answer. Hence, if you see here, choices. Now, what do you mean by choices? Choices is nothing but a key. Choices of 0. Why choices of 0? Because it is a list. In the list, I have first entity. The entity present at the first, it is with the index 0. So this is an indexing concept in the Python. And in that list, we have sub keys like finish reason, index, log props, message. So I need a message because in the message, I have this chat completion message. And in that message, again, there is one more key, which is content. That's the reason we are using response.choice.message.content. Okay, I hope it's clear to everyone that why we are using here response.choice.message.content. Okay. Just a minute. There is some issue. Okay. Here, in this example, I have created a simple chatbot. If you see, again, same operations like OpenAI, load.env, we'll use OpenAI pay key. I have created one function. In this, we'll use while loop. So until and unless user is not writing exit message, we are not giving the exit. It will not say goodbye. It will not stop. It will run continuously. It will run continuously. Which model I'm using? I'm using GPT-4o mini. Here inside, I'm not giving any prompt. Here I'm just giving the user input as it is. Role I'm assigning as a user. So user will give some input as a message, and that message will be treated as an the instruction to the LLM model. Okay. So how it will run? Let me just execute this, and you can able to see how it works. Okay. So Python, the file name is to underscore updated chatbot. Yeah. So now I will get the message, welcome to the OpenAI chatbot as a first one. See, welcome to the chatbot. This is a message, line number 11. I'm getting here. So it is saying that type exit to quit. So if you type exit, then it will say goodbye and break. So let me just type here exit. So after I type exit, then it is saying me goodbye, because when you give user input as an exit, then it will convert into the lowercase, because user can give this exit in uppercase, in a title case, in any case. So we should, your logic should handle it properly. So dot lower method of a string we are using here to compare with the exit. And once it matches, then it will say goodbye, and then it will come out of the loop, if loop, right? Even while loop as well. But if we are not putting the exit there, then what will happen? See. So if this is not true, then it will run continuously. So if I type here hello, see, hello, how I can assist you? Uh, what is AI? Okay, so see, I'm getting a big message here for the what is AI. Okay, so if I say like, uh, do you have any information about today's today's weather in Pune? See, I'm sorry, but I don't have a real-time data access to provide the current weather information. For today's weather in Pune, I recommend checking reliable weather website. So it is just suggesting the model doesn't have this information, but the model is suggesting that you can refer these things and you can get the answer, because it is not currently in agentic mode. Okay, so let me just try with the model 5 here. Let me just check, is it capable of giving the answer to the query. Let me just write here. Yeah, so if I just change here the model instead of GPT-4 mini, if I just change here, sorry, let me just confirm the model name. So where it is, developer, yeah, it is GPT-5. Yes, same GPT-5. Okay, let's save this and let's rerun. Fine. Today's weather in Pune. So here, I think it may give the answer because it is in a agentic mode, agentic AI mode. So if it doesn't have the information, oh, so it is giving in general idea about that. See here, the answer is different than earlier one. So welcome to the, okay, so today's weather, then yeah, this one, today's weather in Pune. So I can't fetch live weather again. Again, it is not working in an agentic way, and we are getting some refined answer that you can go with this Mosam app, or you can go with this. Fine. Generally, it is just providing you some information like typical for mid of December in Pune, generally dry and sunny, and just some results are there. Okay. Yeah. So just a small example, but if you're not providing much more inputs, like user input you are providing here, that's it. Like user will give the question and just you want to build a chatbot which can answer the real-time questions. So it's a pretty simple. It's a pretty simple. But the answer we are getting is on the terminal. Instead of the terminal, if I want the answers on UI, okay. So I have one example for you. I'm using here a Streamlit. Streamlit is a basic uh, option, or you can say the framework where we can have the UI and the code integration as well. So it does have its own facilities for creating a POC kind of website, and there we can have the integration with the backend. Fine. So that's why I'm using here Streamlit. Otherwise, all these you are familiar with in this lecture itself. And I'm loading the key here using sc.title. We are going to set the title. We are creating the client, and then here you are going to use session state. So what is the purpose of the session state? Session state is a kind of memory we are giving for the LLM model, and we are storing this model in the session state itself. So in a session state, I'm giving the key OpenAI model, and the model name is GPT-4o mini. This model we are storing. Next thing, session state dot messages. So currently there is no any message. So message state is empty. Whenever user will add the message, then those message needs to be displayed using the for loop. So this block will take care of that. When user will ask the question, so user will get the message, what is up? So user will provide the message here. So it will be the prompt. Then that prompt will be appended to the session state in a message, and that message of the user and assistants will be displayed one by one. So user will ask one question, LLM will respond, then user will ask another question, LLM will respond. So this chain of user and assistant will go on in the chatbot itself. And that's it. Only just 40 lines of code, not completely 40, might be the less, but it will give you the amazing experience. So let me run this. So normally we run the Python program using the approach like Python space. Here we write filename.py. This is normal approach. But when our code is with the Streamlit, then we need to run it with another approach like Streamlit space run and the file name. So what is the file name? 4 underscore chatbot. Yes, run. Without this also, if I try to run, it will clearly prompt you in the message that your way of working or execution is not correct. Use Streamlit run approach. So now on a screen, you will see an UI which is running on a local with the local host 8501. Yeah, this is your title, GPT like clone. Yeah, this is what is up message. Here we have added what is up. See this one. What is up? Hey, who are you? So this is my question. This question will be given as a user. Now your LLM will respond as an assistant. So this is my question as a prompt I'm supplying that my message is, hey, who are you? Okay, so I'm getting the answer. Hello, I'm an AI language model created by OpenAI, designed to assist wide range of questions and tasks. How can I help you today? Hmm? So I can ask any question like, can you explain what is transformer architecture in short? Yeah, see. The transform architecture is from the attention is all you need by Vaswani and team, right? Self-attention mechanism, positional encoding, encoder-decoder structure, parallelization. So RNN LSTM's problem, transform architecture resolved by using transfer learning mechanism. So transformer is an architecture, and the um, LLM model are the product of those transform architecture. These are the products of the transform architecture. Okay. So this is a simple way, like you can create a small application and you can build the good UI as well using a Streamlit, and then you can get the answer like this. So anyone is having any question? Yeah, nice one. So whether it will work for the large file, uh, it will work for the large file, but as I said, each OpenAI or any other model, not only OpenAI, if it's a Claude model or if any other model, then they have certain limitations. Okay, so if I have a large documents, then I need to do the chunking of the large document. So you can do the chunking using 300 tokens at a time, 1000 tokens at a time. So it depends like what is the capacity of your model. So if your capacity of the model is a bigger one, you can go with the thousands of the chunks. Means from the whole document, it will take 1000 tokens and then it will go for the next. Like this, it will cover all the contents from the document at a time in a one go. If you have a bigger file of PDF, let's say 1000 pages are there, we cannot proceed in one go for sure. So document has to be partitioned or segmented in chunks, and then we can proceed. Any other question, anyone? Yes, you can put your questions in the chat box, please, if you have any question. Or any typical scenario if you have, you want to discuss with me, uh, then also it is fine. Apart from this, I mean, if there is any case with you and that you want to discuss, then you can put your question or you can just unmute yourself. I hope you have the access that you can unmute and ask your question.
Participants, you all are encouraged to answer, like ask questions to sir so he can answer them for you. I'm sharing quiz for day 2. Until then, you can fill that.
So yes, I was talking about that different options and the scenarios we can just refer here on the official website. As you can see here, the agents. If you want to go with the agent, then you can easily go with the agent using OpenAI. So the question was asked about the can we supply the multiple documents. So I want to again show you here. Suppose if I just go with the GPT-5 mini, this model. So for this model here, you can see it's a capacity that it can handle the context window, means input output and the chunks it will retrieve. So total in one go, in one cycle, you can supply 4 lakh tokens context window. Then 1,28,000 maximum output tokens we can process here. Next, it has the May 31st, 2024 knowledge cutoff. So as I said, models came with the knowledge cutoff because they are not always trained or updated on the latest data. But yes, if you just go and check the chat GPT, then chat GPT is in agentic mode. Even Gemini is also in agentic mode. So if anything is there, which is the latest one, okay. And if you ask that question that LLM doesn't have or not having the training on that, then it will search on the net and it will give you the answer. This is what the provision right now is. Fine. So yeah, here we can check. Even if you want to check that which model should I prefer for what, then I would recommend you can go with the LLM leaderboard. So LLM leaderboard is a worldwide handled the website where we can see yeah, different LLM models. We can compare the different LLM models and you can select out of the all available models. Hmm. So it is loading. And even you have a specific task also, means if you want to go with the image generation, if you want to go with the video generation, text to speech, speech to text, embedding, then you can go with these options like see here you can check that which model is on the top. So on the top we have Gemini 3 Pro. On second position in the world I'm talking about, Cloud Ops, okay, 4.1, GPT 5.2. This is a new model. Gemini 2.5 Flash, Gemini 2.5 Pro. So these are the models, those are currently used or widely used in the market. Fine. Even if I go with the image generation model, then here I can go again and I can check again that Gemini 3 Pro image. This we can prefer. This is on the top in the world. For video generation, Veo 3.0 fast from the Google itself. Text to speech, multilingual V2 from 11 Labs. Speech to text, Whisper Large V3 Turbo from OpenAI. Embeddings. Okay, so no models available here. We can see no models available for the embedding, right? Yeah, fine then. Let me share this as well. Yes, yes, of course. Um, I will provide the material, whatever I discussed here. Okay. So I will provide these documents, these codes and everything with ma'am, and then ma'am will share with all of you. Fine. Yeah. Any other question anyone is having?
Cool. Yeah, Minji, this is Tushar here. I had a question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, are there any tools or maybe a site where we can try different models uh, and get these API keys, uh, as in like a, let's say, a free tire kind of thing, or some free usage model?
See, there are two options available. Okay. The option number one is open source models, and another one is a closed source models, right? So for open source, you can go with the Olama models. You can go to the Olama website where you will get what model, which models you can prefer. But again, there is a memory constraint. I'll show you. See, if I go with the Olama model, can someone clear this? Who did this? Yeah, fine. So I'll show you. See, these models you can use free of cost. You need not to go for the API key anymore. Hmm. So if you visit olama.com, you can see the models here, which models are available. Even recently, OpenAI launched one model. I think name is GSS something. I'll show you. So that model is a chat GPT kind of model. You can use free of cost. Even internet connection is also not required for that. If you want to use it locally. Even for the experimentation purpose, you can also, again ask the students to use these models. Yeah. So here is the list. Like all these models, even I think here we don't have the count, but these are the most popular models. Even you can just go for the cloud model, embedding model, vision model, filtration. See, this one, GPT OSS. Yeah, this one. OpenAI's open weight model designed for a powerful reasoning agentic task. Okay, so this is updated 2 months ago. Right? So this model from the OpenAI we can use DeepSeek R1. But the problem with this model is what? Not problem with this model, limitation we can say. If we just go to the GitHub profile, yeah, here is the table, and the table will tell you. See, if you want to use gamma model, then it is with the 1B parameters. Means it is trained on 1 billion parameter. And how much size it will occupy on your machine? 815 MB. The model which I used, it is Llama 3.2. So in Llama 3.2, 1B and 3B also, we have 70B also. But if you want to use 70B, then 43 GB of the memory you need. I'm talking about the RAM. Fine. So it will bring this model into the memory because this is a local model. And hence, if you go on using the bigger models with the humongous data, 20 billion, 13 billion, 70 billion parameters, then of course we need that much powerful machine to handle it. This is a limitation. Your question is, can we have the platform from where you can access all the models, or you can access the just one platform where we can get all the models and API keys? So you can go with the, but see, API key creation, you have to go with the official website. Without official website, we cannot create an API key. So for Claude models, I need to go to the Anthropic. To use the LangChain, I need to visit the LangChain website. I need to create their account. So if we go for the individual models, then, or if you go for the using of those models, then definitely the key you will get only on official website, nowhere else. But there is one platform where you can access the models just using their APIs access. Okay, so it is called as an open router. So here you will get the list of all paid models and unpaid models also, free models also. See, these are the featured models: Cloud Opus 4.1, GPT 5.2, okay, Gemini 3 Pro Preview. So you can just create a account here. You can just use any model. If you want to use this model, you can just click here. Fine. You can see the details also. You can compare also which models are there. Okay, now we can use these models. Fine. And okay, just a minute. Activity, yes, I'm getting this. Yeah. So I need to go to the keys. Yeah, you can see here, I'll get the access unlimited as of now. Fine. So I need to create an API key and then I can use these models, available models here, whatever the models I have. So free tier also you can use, but after using it for, let's say, if the model is handling these many tokens initially per month, they are giving you these many tokens. So after that, definitely you need to use the paid API key. Okay. So
Great,
this
thank you.
option you can also try, open router.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Anything else, anyone? Okay then, ma'am. It's done from my end. Over to you.
Okay, sir, that was really a wonderful session.
Yeah, thank you.
On behalf of Keystone School of Engineering, we extend our sincere and heartfelt thank you and gratitude to you, sir, for delivering an insightful and technically enriching session on transformer models and prompt engineering. We truly appreciate your time, in-depth knowledge sharing, and practical insights, which have significantly enhanced the understanding of all participants. We also express our sincerest thanks to all the esteemed faculty members and participants for their enthusiastic virtual presence, active participation, and meaningful interaction throughout the session. Your engagement played a vital role. We look forward to your continued participation and we'll see you again for day 3 of the FDP tomorrow. Sir will be sharing the material with me at the last of the session. I'll make a drive link and share all the materials with you all. Now I'll be posting the feedback link and the quiz link again for those who have joined later. You all can fill that for day 2.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
If you want to provide the feedback on a personal also, you can note my number and you can send me on my mail as well. Okay, I will appreciate.
It was really a nice session, sir.
Yeah,
We
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
And yes, last but not least, I forget to add the names. I'm thankful, of course, to Keystone School of Engineering, the management, especially to respected Soman sir and HOD of AIDS department, Sheikh ma'am, then Professor Shafia, for giving this opportunity to share my knowledge. Okay, thank you once again, every participant, because sitting for 3 years continuously, it's not the it's actually challenging task. But anyway, you managed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's always wonderful to have you with us. Okay, I've shared the feedback link and quiz link for today on the chat. Anyone, any queries you can ask? We can have a session for 5 minutes. Any Q&A? Okay, thank you so much everyone for being there. I hope to see you all tomorrow for day 3.
Ma'am, please share the recording of this session.
Yes, ma'am, it's been live on YouTube. The YouTube live, you can watch it again also. And
Okay.
I'll share the recording link too. But as of now, if you want, you can watch it on YouTube live. The
Yeah.
session has got recorded there.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.